to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Cara Delane and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings and Cara Delane.
Welcome everyone to After Dark, the Halloween special.
Wow. Welcome everybody. Yeah, look at the crew we got assembled tonight, Cara. Wow, amazing.
I know, we have so many characters on the screen, a lot of masks. I mean, I think Sarah's outdoing all of us right now, Ted. We've got Batman over here. It's going to be a great show tonight.
So did you guys bring me a trick or a treat?
Always treats.
Look at this. So welcome everybody. Look at the crew we got tonight, Cara. We got Steve Apicella from Strategic DX. Welcome, our friend. We have Batman, Ed Roberts coming to us from the Batcave. That is Sarah Van Tine, I believe. Okay, from Quantum 5. Sir Tully Williams and Sir Ed Roberts. And well, I guess I should say, do I say Sir Sarah? No, I don't say that, right? Okay. And Michelle McLean is here. Rebecca Chernick is here tonight. Rebecca, welcome.
Thank you.
And Christine Fornan.
Hello, Ted.
Love the mask, Christine.
Thank you so much. Just for you.
Oh,
you told me to have a mask. Here it is.
Yeah, here we are. So again, we want to thank our exclusive sponsors tonight, BG Products. Thank you for all that you do for our industry, partners beyond products. So, Cara, what's the deal with the mask? What's going on? I think we're going to be in November real soon.
Yes, we're rolling up to the next event, our Dare to Dream Fixed Ops Roundtable, because we are unmasking childhood blood cancers with the Fixed Ops Roundtable during this next event.
Wow. And again, what are the dates again? November
15th, 16th, and 17th. Yep,
Love
all online. It's a virtual event. So if you haven't got your complimentary tickets, everybody watching, make sure to grab them after the show at fixedopsroundtable.com.
So we're 15 days away from the last Fixed Ops Roundtable of 2022.
Wow.
Yeah, we are, Ed. Yeah. Tomorrow is 2 weeks away. And Ed and Tully, you've had quite a workout because between the two of you, but I think Tully, somebody called us, was it Sticks, that you and Ed are now the anchors, right?
Yeah, that was so funny. But, it's a lot of fun. I mean, getting that knowledge out, learning so much from these great panels. Ted Knight is, it is unbelievable what we can do. And the people that come out, I mean, the Legends panel that you had, Ted, some big panels. Ed's been on some super duper panels. I'm telling you, a lot of knowledge is coming out.
Ed, I feel like your agent because I'm like, I'm booking these folks and saying, okay, now do you really think you deserve to have Ed Roberts on your panel? Tell me why.
Because they want to scare everybody away.
So,
they want some whiskey talent. That's what they want. They want some whiskey insight there, Ed.
That's it. I'm hoping to learn something about whiskey myself.
It is Halloween. Maybe they just want whiskey.
Right.
All right, so Tully, I got to ask you, you've been involved in a lot of recordings now, not just because Steve Apicella is here tonight, but was there a favorite panel at this next event that you've been involved with, or favorite panel?
I think that I was wowed by the Legends panel. And here's the deal: I was the quiet one. Can you believe it? And I think that was really interesting to see how everybody is connected to Les. It was really an interesting panel, and I hope, Ted, that was part one, my good friend. We got to get Ed on that part two part.
Well, Ed is part of that Legends panel, no question. And Ed, the one thing that a lot of people took issue with me is that they don't want to be called a legend. They said only Les is the legend. So how about that, Ed?
Les is the legend, that's for sure. No doubt about it.
Ed, was there a favorite panel? And I mean, you did a lot on this event, so.
Well, every one of them you can take something from. So I challenge everybody out there to make sure you tune in and listen because, I mean, the one with Steve, we're talking about the efficiency and the customer experience of our service department. And then we talked about different things on the other ones with developing people. And, I mean, Ted, look at the one with Doug and how they do things there and the culture they've created there at Longo. I mean, it's just all of them are worth tuning in for. It's one you won't want to miss.
Wow. Hey, we're live tonight, right, Cara?
We are live. We're live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And I see a lot of comments coming in from all three of those platforms tonight.
Comments are rolling in. Coralie, good evening. I tried to get Coralie on another panel. Okay, even at the end, we're still negotiating a couple panels too, right? So we're almost there. Ed, that segment that you did, and because I'll say this because Sarah Van Tyne's here tonight, you did a segment on AI with Jocelyn from Stella AI, and I got to tell you, I think we could make I was texting you on Sunday. We got to make a blooper reel. So Sarah, he's talking to Jocelyn, who's the founder of Stella AI, and they're talking about not letting the call, go to voicemail, and why it's important to pick up. And as Ed is on the panel, his cell phone is ringing.
Yeah, it was perfect. As soon as I start talking about the phone, then my phone starts ringing. It was actually my desk phone. It just kept going over and over and over again. I'd cancel it out. So yeah, it was perfect timing. So finally we stopped and says, you got to cut that out, but that'd be a perfect blooper for sure.
Wow.
So Steve, you've done a couple panels now over many months. What are your feelings and observations?
Ted, I feel the same way as what was just said here about, any chance that we get together as a community and share ideas. We don't always have to agree with one another. That's not the point. The point is that we engage one another and we learn from one another. And this environment that you put on is perfect for that. And the talent, I didn't make the legends list, but I made the mega panel list. So I'm not sure what that means.
All these new terms,
for
right?
the legend.
So, hey, Rebecca, you were on that panel with Steve Apicella. Any observations from you? Because you've been involved with doing this for quite a while. I'm following your lead with doing stuff online.
It was a great talk. And Steve Apicella, hits it hard every single time. He just knows stuff, and it's always a pleasure to have great conversations with Steve Apicella. That's for sure. So thanks, guys.
I love it.
Yeah.
And Michelle, you and I have been working over the weekend, and I love what you got going on for January, and some big changes, right, in the branding.
We're making some branding changes just so that we can, come off as more diverse and inclusive. So we're making some changes to our roundtable, but we're really excited about January's event. Our theme is going to be Wild, Wild West. You're going to see some new stuff from the Fixed Ops Roundtable with our marketing, with our branding, everything that we're doing with this event. We always try to take it one more level, and then one more level, and one more level, and do things that are unique and different to this space. And so I think we're going to really pull that off. We had an amazing event with Roaring 20s. And of course, we have Dare to Dream, which is a huge, amazing, great cause. Make sure that you guys check that out. And then Wild Wild West in January is really going to take something in a totally new direction for the roundtable. So we're really excited about that.
Hey, give away a little secret on the speaker promos. By the way, Michelle does all your speaker promos. She does all the headshots. Tully, we did that one with Cox Automotive with X-Time with Jordan, who was on there. And, Michelle was working really hard on some of those photos, right? And
I tell you make me look younger. Thank you so much.
I try to give everyone their best face forward. So we do that with a variety of different tips and tricks and tools and all types of stuff. And we just always want you to have your best face forward. And we do a lot of edits and work behind the scenes to make that happen. A whole lot of work.
So, Sarah, I feel so bad because I didn't have you involved in a lot, okay, on this event, but there was just a lot of things going on, and there were certain folks who wanted Tully and they wanted Ed, and that was really just nuts how all that went down the last couple of weeks, guys. So,
no worries.
I can't wait.
She's got plenty of time to catch up.
And we still have people asking if they can be on panels, even though recording's done. So that's always a good thing, I guess, right, Ted?
I'm getting emails and phone calls today from people who say, okay, I want to record now. I want to do my segment this week. Can I do it next week? And I'm like, it's over. It's done. Okay.
No, the answer is yes. You can be on the first Fixed Ops Roundtable next year.
For the next year, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's for next year.
Let's go ahead and get you on the
We
calendar.
need to do a behind the scenes reel at the Fixed Ops Roundtable for one of our upcoming events. Like make the entire theme behind the scenes at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Everybody can see all the chaos that goes into making this event what it is. And it's incredible. It always comes together, though.
So
But
Tully, there's actually 4 hours of content more than we can possibly handle for this event. And that's going from 9 a.m. to 5 solid 3 days. There's an extra 4 hours. I got to probably go till 6 o'clock each day.
But you think about where you've come, Ted. I mean, I remember when I started, I went to Beverly Hills. We did the live event, which was kind of cool. But when we went that first virtual one, I mean, it was all live. We were going in and out because we only had 9 people on at a time. And look where you are today, Ted. It is amazing what you're doing for the Fixed Ops community. I can't thank you enough. You're bringing people together, and what people are pounding on the door. Let me in, bro. Let me in.
Tully. Christine, you were a little on the fence there. You weren't sure about Tully before we did that first panel with him. Remember, like a year and a half ago? You hadn't met him yet. And I know there were some people from an unknown DMS company who weren't sure about Tully recently. They said, we're not sure about Tully. Is he just excited? And Christine, the answer is yes. Tully gets really
Always
Yes,
excited.
he's very excited, but he's very good at what he does. He knows what he's doing.
I try.
You try. Actually, Ted, I was looking for my buttons. That's what I was going to be. I was going to do a big mask for Tully. I think that could be, we'll have to think about that for another show. There it is.
Just
Yes, I need a Telly button. The Telly buttons have the mask on.
So Kara, you don't have the big Tully button, but we got that big sign, right? With the Fixed Ops Roundtable that Allison does.
Yep.
So there was a story at this event. If you don't mind, tell us about that, because normally you have that in time, like before the event starts. And I think we shipped that to arrive like a week or so right before the event, but you didn't get it in time.
Yes. So Allison shipped me my handheld sign that she sends me for every roundtable with the new logo on it. And Ted was telling me, I was on the email chain. She's like, okay, it's going to be delivered this week. And I tell Ted, I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. So I check in the accounting office. They don't have it. So I'm like, okay, it has to be in parts. Go check in parts. They're like, no, we don't have anything. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it's at another store. Not at another store. I'm eventually, a few days later, digging through the entire parts department in our Dodge store. I mean, like throwing parts left and right. I'm like telling the guys to get out of my way. And they're like, Kara, it's not in here. I'm like, it says it was delivered and you signed for it. Like, where is it? I still, to this day, have no idea where that package is. I don't know who they gave it to or where they put it, but she had to ship me another one. And I did get that one. And the parts, one of the parts employees walked to my office and hand delivered it to me. And I was like, he was scared I was going to rampage through the parts department.
Absolutely.
But I don't know where it is. Yeah. So
Michelle, like I said, we normally get that early. So Kara just got it like 2 weeks ago, Kara?
Probably, yeah.
Which is late.
Yeah, we
Which is
normally
late
plan
because
this months and months in advance.
No.
Like we're already working on content for the next 2 events right now. So yeah, it's imperative that we plan early, and we've learned that proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yes.
And I think you had a request last week as well, Michelle, for a panel that they wanted to put on at this event. They were so sure they could get it on, right? So.
Yeah, apparently I was told that I was actually in a panel, and we're like, wait a minute, this is not actually. It's kind of funny how things happen, but we always flow and we make it all work, and it happens, and everyone's happy, and we keep getting more and more viewers and more virtual tickets. And back when COVID happened, we weren't even sure we were going to be able to continue this. In fact, Ted, I remember you calling me and saying, this is happening, everything's getting locked down, we can't do our events anymore. And I said, nope, we're going to pivot, Ted. Pivot, the word of 2020 that nobody wanted to hear after 2020. But that's what we did, and it's blown up. And this is just, sometimes things are a blessing in disguise, and it's blown up for us. So it's exciting.
So everyone, talk to us about holidays and the service drive. This is a great one. Tully, you were just, in the green room before we got started. Halloween always falls on the 31st. For a service manager, not always the easiest time, but there's some pretty unique things we could do on holidays.
I mean, you got to make it fun. First is that, you have a costume contest, right? You're going to have a chili cook-off or some kind of a barbecue that day, right? You get people happy and excited, which also bleeds over to customers. But the fun thing is the marketing piece you get to do in the driveway. right? You know, it's trick or treat, and right, and you come out there, the customer reaches in, grabs a piece of candy, open it up, and there's a present in there. It just makes it more fun. I think Halloween is probably the most fun of all because you get to dress up. There's always food at lunch. Everybody's happy, and then everybody wants to get the hell home by 3 or 4 o'clock. Because the worst thing it is for service managers that we're trying to close a month and everybody wants to go home trick or treating. And what do? We let them go.
Ed, can you speak to that?
Absolutely. So Halloween should highlight what the rest of the year should be. We come in with our costumes on, and it creates a different buzz. And we need to create that buzz in our service drives every single day and have those kind of conversations. We come in most of the time to go through and survive another day and just go through the motions and not necessarily make connections. Halloween with our customers, with our staff, is an easy day to make those connections. And we got to find ways to make those connections outside of Halloween. But today we had a lot of fun at the store. We had a costume party, like Tully said. We are having a chili cook-off on Friday, so you'll see another post on that.
You had Jurassic Park.
Had Jurassic Park there today. That was probably the best one in the last couple of years that they did. But they had the music. It was the whole 9 yards. Had smoke coming out from the back of their park van, and they did a good job. That was the sales department that did that, and all of them participated, and all of them was different characters, and they pulled that off well.
So I see Angela's in the comments, and she's live. Good evening, Angela. Angela was on a panel with Justin Pomeroy from Foundation Automotive, Kara. And Michelle, I think you worked on her promo headshot as well. And I know Angela's been like texting me like, okay, who's going to post that? You going to post that, or am I going to post that? And she goes, I think you should post that. And I'm like, Angela, I'm not trying to ignore you, but like Friday, there's like, 9 segments I'm doing back to back to back. I can't post it maybe till like next week, but Angela, I promise I will do that. And your segment came out great. She does, Steve, some really unique things for Foundation Automotive with the analytics and the stuff they track. So it was a fascinating segment that Roger Conant put together, Steve. And
I'm
Foundation
pretty sure, Carrie, you might be able to answer this for me, but if I go out my back door and I tee up a golf ball and I hit a driver, I can hit the Castle Rock Auto Group. And I think that's part of your guys' Foundation umbrella. So yeah, I just found that out recently.
It is, yes. Some great guys at that store too.
And Angela spent quite a bit of time right here in Northeast Florida as well. So it's almost hometown for her.
Wow.
I still say Colorado's best. So sorry.
So Rebecca, you and I were talking this morning because I was having a close to a heart attack, right? Because we have a big segment coming up on the Roundtable with a dear friend or two of yours, okay? And we're trying to get that scheduled. And Adam Aarons is your good friend. You introduced him to the Roundtable, and he's on a segment with Tom Dahl and with Liza Borges, a pretty important segment for this show, right? And I was speaking to you because you were saying, okay, that's going to happen. You guys are recording that tomorrow, right? And I was like, well, no, not yet. And so if you don't mind, talk to us. How do you know Adam? And by the way, we did get that segment all put together, but it took a little bit of doing today. But how do you know Adam Aarons?
Well, Christine also knows Adam Aarons very well, and as well as I do. But Adam was my boss at one time when I was working with JM&A, and talk about a great mentor. He knew his stuff. He still knows his stuff, and he's a great altogether great person, dealer. Yeah.
Yep. And he sent some great mask photos as well that we're going to have to post. I first met him in Atlanta 3.5 years ago at one of your events. And do you remember that afternoon, early evening, right before the event? We were setting up the room, and you had that whole thing set up. And Adam and I walked in there, and remember how I kind of stopped you and said, we got to redo the room?
Oh, yeah. Hard to forget that one. But it turned out great. It looked fantastic. When it was all said and done, it was perfect.
Christine, you were there. You were in Atlanta.
Yes, I was.
July of 2019.
And I will attest to that. Adam is a great mentor, and he's a great guy. He's a great client of mine, and he's great. Very,
Christine,
very
how many stores does he have? Where are they located?
He has 3 stores right now currently. He has one in North Attleboro, Mass, one in Saco, Maine, one in Salem, New Hampshire. He's building another one in Scarborough, Maine. And I think he has some other things on the horizon. I'm not sure, but I think he's always looking for different things, different opportunities. So,
And you go there and travel there every month.
correct. I'm there once or twice a month working in some of his stores. Yes.
Wow. So
Yes,
Adam,
I am.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I am. So, anyways, no, and he has great teams. I mean, I, I can't say enough about the people that work for him and with him. You know, his GMs, his managing partners, they're great. So, great team.
And he has great insight into the automotive industry, Rebecca, as well, as you know. So Adam helped put together the Q&A for the Tom Dahl segment that Liza and Adam are both going to be on. So over the weekend, Adam and I, finished that. And then last night, I was emailing back and forth with Liza like late last night. And Tom Dahl is emailing me this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And we're, getting all this stuff set up behind the scenes. Ed, there's a lot going on to this event that a lot of people don't see.
There's a ton behind the scenes, like Michelle said. When you put it together, it just looks like everything flows smooth, but that's from all the work that's put in behind it. And then I got a second, Adam. He's a great dude. He sent some of his people down to our store. They visit our store. One of the guys that works for him used to work for me about 10 years ago, but he's assembled a great team, but he's also a great guy to work for. And he lives down here in Florida as well.
Oh, jeez.
There's a correlation to draw. When you watch a top athlete, they make it look easy. If you watch Tiger Woods in his prime or Aaron Judge breaking the home run record for American League or whoever it might be, this is one thing this whole group has that I have so much respect for is you guys make it look easy. And I know you're working really hard behind the scenes relentlessly. But at the end of the day, when you get up to the plate, you guys make it look really easy.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Sarah, I was talking to Dave O'Brien late last week because he did a segment, and I said, Dave, how many employees you got now? And he gave me the number. And your company, Sarah, has really, really grown. Talk to us about some of the stuff that's going on there.
Yes, it's been really, really busy, and it's been really exciting gearing up for NADA and some of the stuff we have upcoming at the Modern Retail Conference in November. But yeah, we've had 2 new people come on board recently, and then some additional staff on top of that. And it's just been growth mode and putting out lots of new content, lots of new learning journeys. We've been fortunate. We've had so many clients sign up in the last month and even tonight. So it's been really, really exciting to see the growth and the opportunity for our team to continue to support dealers in automotive.
Who's in charge of sales of that company, Sarah? You got to give that.
I might know her. I mean,
is her name Ariel?
Different tonight, but
Wonder Woman.
It's been a lot of fun to get to facilitate that. Sales has always been, I think, the foundation of what I've always been passionate about. I mean, that's how I got started in the business, was selling cars. And again, sales is really just matching the right people with the right product. And it's just understanding what's important to each individual, what their goals are. And that's always been something I've been very passionate about. So being able to do it on this side now has been really exciting, to pair the right learning and the right approaches with dealers.
And I've heard that word journey come up. Talk to us about that, because I know there's a journey team, and why that terminology?
Well, gaming is really at the foundation of one of the foundation pieces of our company is really the technology piece. And, if you're familiar with gaming, I mean, there's so many different games out there, but just to make it simple, I mean, Candy Crush, right? Like if you're playing Candy Crush on your phone, you go through a journey, you have a little map that you can see your progression and where you're going along each level. And as you progress, it keeps getting more challenging. You keep having more things you can utilize, more tools available to you as you progress in the game. Well, it's the same kind of thing that we do for automotive learning. So depending on what someone is doing and what journeys they want to participate in, we have finance, sales, leadership. There's all kinds of different content and scenarios around service, selling tires. We have really specific things that we're doing with our journeys. But what's really cool about it is it feels like gaming. So, a lot of times when we're going through learning in automotive, it's so test-based, where you take a test and maybe you do good on the test, but you might not be able to apply that to your job. Well, this takes it and you learn the skills and you get to have fun, and then you get to do it at your own pace. And so it's really cool to see that marriage between learning in automotive and gaming.
Wow. It's fascinating stuff. And Steve, you're on the road this week, right? You're on the move.
So starting tomorrow through the end of the week. Yeah, pretty normal for me. But the reason why I'm not on the road yet is because it's the end of the month. And when you're part of the dealer support community, guess what? You don't go there at the end of the month. So, for my team and I, today is in Colorado, working together, catching up about what we did the previous month and planning what we're going to do the next month. And it's a kind of a forced time to go home moment in the month for us, and all vendors, dealer support community deals with this, is you got to honor their dealers when they're closing the month. It's just not an appropriate time to be out there.
Love it.
But
Tully, congratulations.
November 1st, we're right back at it.
Tomorrow, right? Yeah. Tully, there's a lot of negotiation going around. I'm hearing behind the scenes on that Fixed Ops magazine, on the next issue, on the next cover. And congratulations to you for being on this cover as well. So it's all about the hours. We did a panel together on hours, and we had a sponsor on there, some friends of yours, and finally, I think they surrendered and, decided to go with that as the topic, as the title.
That was so funny. I mean, Cox is just crazy. Sometimes they overthink it a little bit, but, they're just helping us to do a better job. I was going to say a little fine thing. If you look at the row number 3 right here in the middle, my good friend Ed and Sarah and I all met in Florida at a automotive news conference. And, congratulations to both of them, have both been on the cover as well. So yes. I feel very honored and privileged to be part of this great community.
We are surrounded by greatness, Tully, that's for sure.
Amen on that.
Yeah. So a lot of people striving to be what you are. And Tully, I got to tell you that I've really seen Ed, on these last couple roundtables, I've really seen a new Ed Roberts, Tully. I mean, he's not beating around the bush anymore. He's assertive on taking control on some of these topics. And
well, he's got a new role now. I just want to make sure he doesn't get too salesy. Ed, you got to stay a little fixie in there, bro. A little fixie in me. Come on. How often is a fixed ops guy starting at the bottom become a controller? I mean, running a huge dealership. I mean, there's probably enough people on our hand that you can count. So, Ed, congratulations. I'm just going to make sure I'm keeping an eye on you. When we start talking salesy, I'm just going to send you a little text. Whoa, bro, remember, fixed.
I stayed neutral today, Tully. All my fixed guys wanted me to dress up with them, and the salespeople wanted me to dress. I had to stay neutral. Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. Yes, but I want to talk about we're 10 months into the year already. We got the last 2 months going in front of us. And we need to be planning for 2023. We got the last Fixed Ops Roundtable coming up here in 15 days. And we got the first one coming up shortly after the year starts. But we need to be working our plan. We need to create a plan, work our plan, and then make adjustments with our plan along the way. And the biggest part of our plan, we talked about earlier, is developing our people. And that's what this is all about. This is sharing the information that we're put out here to develop our people. People like Sarah coming out there and just putting the end caps on that with gaming type deal that people are already familiar with and just putting it all together. But that's where we win, is by taking care of our people.
Ed, you can't say it better. And I think one thing that we were lucky that, because we've had a good couple of years, is that a lot of stores that were afraid to train because it was too expensive, which is the worst excuse ever, realize that, oh my God, I spend a little, I get so much, and everybody's so happier. So, one thing COVID did help us with is training. And I think, there's a lot of good training. There's free training. Look at, Ted, the Fixed Ops Roundtable. But Sarah and these companies out there are making great products. And I think you're seeing that wave, Ed, to your point, that training works. and people want it because they all want to do better and make more money for them and their families. That's the key issue here.
Well, let me tie one more piece onto that. Steve talked about don't go into dealers last day of the month. Well, reality is it's a rat race at the end of the month in most cases. And it isn't because we get better at the end of the month. It's because that's when we got to put the ends to everything. But if we train our people, then all those things happen all month long, and month end is a speed bump. And that's the way it should be. It should not be a hurdle. It should just be a speed bump. And so if it's a hurdle at the end of every month, the opportunity is there to develop our people better.
You know, it's so funny.
Totally agree, but we're still not showing up on the last day of the month. Not happening.
You know, the only person that should work extra on the last day of the month is your warranty admin, because you're closing the same stuff out, right? In my book, right, Ed, you're spot on. Because if you have a store that's having a triple day on the last day, you're like, bro, what did you dig through to get all that done? You should have done that last week, you know? So you're spot on there, Ed, spot on.
Exactly.
There's three things that I really like about this year. Selfishly, I like the fall. I just like the change of colors and the weather and all that. I love it. And I love this season that's approaching us of Thanksgiving, where we should all be feeling this gratitude all year long, but we have a great occasion to share it. And Ted and the group, I thank you guys very, very much for everything that you do. I'm grateful for it. The other thing that I love about this year, similar to what Ed said, this is annual planning season. This is where we dig in and we figure out what are we going to do better next year to improve on this year. And, you know, has everybody heard of a SWOT analysis? Does everybody know what that is? I think it's funny. Somebody told me once, because it's strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, and you analyze that. And somebody said, actually, it's stupid waste of time. It's the funniest thing. But, you know, it's not paying lip service to it, just pulling people in a room. It's what are you actually going to do? And technology is a cornerstone of what we do, but technology without people is technology. And we've got to, what Ed said is so critically important. If technology is done right, we're removing longstanding pain points to make people better. And that's what we're all about. And again, it's the challenge for everybody, not just the dealer community, but the support community, is what are we going to do better, us, to serve our dealers better in the next year, and keep learning from that and keep challenging ourselves. So I love this time of year for so many different reasons.
Love it. And you're right, Steve. It is about the people. There's so much, Steve, changing, and I can't believe all the change since the September show to now this November show. All the things that are happening, and getting to see a lot of the stuff that's coming, and companies that are doing one segment, but I know there's a big segment coming at the next show. We're going to get more in depth. Ed, that panel, the two panels you did last week on cybersecurity. Tully, you were the one who pointed out cyber a few months ago, right? These folks jumped into it real quick. And Ed, that was an amazing hour and a half that you and I spent together on Tuesday when you were up in Detroit.
Well, it raises a lot of awareness, but it educated us as well. I mean, there's always stuff to learn there, because there's people that this is their job to go out there and find ways to exploit us. And they do it without us even knowing about it. And by the time we find out about it, it's too late. So, yeah, those are certainly some panels that you want to tune in for, because it's the security that we all need.
It's interesting is when you look at cyber, is that dealerships are easy targets, because we don't pay attention to technology very much, and I'm telling you, if you're not on top of your game, you will be hit. It's just a matter of how much you're willing to pay, and it's expensive, but you must do it. It's a requirement.
Yeah, big time. So we'll talk about that in 2 weeks at the event. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for spending your Halloween with us tonight. Sarah, did the kids already went out, right? You guys went out a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, this is post Halloween candy trick or treat fun. So we've probably got about 9 pounds of miscellaneous things downstairs. My kids were on a speed mission. They were just surging. So I'm gonna have to do my parent tax this evening. I did see some full size Snickers in a couple bags that I might have to partake of. So,
All right.
Hey, I'm in my 50s. Anybody on this call used to use a pillowcase as their trick-or-treating device? I'm not the only guy, right?
that's not
that
sturdy
was our
enough.
goal. We had to
You
fill up
gotta
a
get the,
pillowcase.
you got to get some legit bags. We've got the reinforced grocery bags. That's what my kids were taking out tonight.
Well, when my daughter was little, Sarah, she had it down. We'd go out with the pillowcase, Steve, and she'd go up to the people's doors, and it would be empty like the beginning of the night, and they would feel sorry for her, and they would give her extra candy. So she realized that if Dad carried an extra pillowcase, she could dump it into mine and go up to every home with very little in that pillowcase, and they would give her extra. So she had the system gamed with
He
that.
hustled. I like it.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. Christine, love all the work that you're doing in your market. Love the mask. Thank you, Christine, for being here and for all you
thanks
do.
for having me.
Yeah. Oh, great stuff. Rebecca, look forward to seeing you on the panel, and have some news for you later in the week. So look forward to all that. And thank you. And you got a live a couple times during the week. When is the next one coming up, Rebecca?
I'm sorry. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 2 p.m. F&I Tips with Michael DePeaser and I, and we are talking about cash deals and why do F&I managers run from cash deals of all things. And then Wednesday is the live talk with Becky Chernick and F&I Trends. Oof. And that's going to be a great show. So I'm looking forward to both those shows. Thank you so much, Ted. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Michelle?
Ted?
Talk to you after the show.
Talk to you after the show, like always.
And Michelle, we need to talk. Can you call me or I can call you? I need to order some stuff.
You bet.
All right.
Ed and Sarah and Tully, thank you for all you do for the industry. So
yes, it was nice to talk and see everyone. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Great to be
Thanks
here.
for having us.
Tully, you get a little break from me now, Tully, right?
I'll talk to you soon.
Ted, thank you so much for what you do for us. You do a lot for us, so we can't thank you enough.
And Steve, I'll talk to you this week on the road. So
I'll be in your neck of the woods, man. Look out. Here he comes.
Where in Colorado are you, Steve? You're probably close by.
Castle Rock. We're just I live in Parker. Castle Rock, Colorado is where my office is at. So just south of Denver.
I'm in West Cliff, so I'm about 90 miles southwest of Colorado Springs.
Southwest. Okay, cool. Very cool. Like as far as Durango or no?
No, not. Well, I don't really know my geography. I've only been here a year, but I'm exactly 90 miles southwest of Colorado Springs in a tiny little mountain town. So.
Cool. Very cool. Beautiful area. Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, we're lucky to live in such a beautiful state.
It is. It's absolutely breathtaking. So.
And we got
Kara,
snow.
2 weeks left until the big event.
Yes, coming up quick. I hope everybody has got their complimentary tickets and their masks for Dare to Dream on November 15th.
Don't forget your masks. We're unmasking for cancer.
Oh, so we're doing the thing with the masks, and I got a video to show. I just got this one in from the team at Proactive Dealer Solutions, Brook AI. Let me show it real quick.
We are Proactive Dealer Solutions, and we dare you to unmask for cancer this November at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
So we got a lot of these group pictures coming in and videos coming in now. So we'll be sharing those out. So
great.
Awesome.
Great stuff.
Hopefully everybody participates with us, Ted. If you haven't sent us a mask video, please send it to us.
Yeah, we'll post it.
I'll make that happen.
Perfect. Thanks, Batman. Thank you, everyone. I hope everybody has an amazing Halloween and stays safe. And thanks for joining us tonight. We will catch you on Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.